Average Joe travels the California Inscape. A special Lumens Radiophonics presentation. Anne's Day at the Races. Story conceived and written by Jimmy Luego. Featuring the vocal stylings of This Is Signal, with Asher Ephraim as Jimmy. It was an unusually sunny day, with soft breezes and horseflies the size of kumquats. My partner Anne had decided to bet her share of the Ruby Peaks earnings on a horse, a lithe little filly named Muffin Brand. She left the office in a bit of a huff.
Joe, that isn't true. I wasn't in a huff. You just refused to get out of my way.
I think I was trying to figure out where I'd left my coffee cup.
Sounds like you. Now tell the story right. Better yet, I'll tell the story.
Fine by me. Come to think of it, I wasn't even at the track with you. Anyway, have fun.
It was, actually, a gorgeous day. I was wearing my favorite white and navy Spectator pumps with an airy navy and white polka dot midi dress. I had splurged at Tadbolt's. My hat, gloves, and bag were somewhat in a cheeky red, but it suited my gay mood. I had gotten a hot tip from a reliable source. Muffin Brand was a dead certainty, and the odds were 7-1. I just had to make the most of this. I love a winner. But I couldn't have been at the track more than 5 minutes before I was rudely approached by a sleazy gorilla in a cheap suit with an even cheaper Stetson. I gave him the hairy eyeball as he sauntered over, his gold-plated watch chain dangling from his pocket as he tried to impress me. You know the type, ladies. The only thing that impressed me about that simian was his ability to stand upright.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you look like the kind of broad, damoiselle that knows a thing or two about the ponies.
In addition to being able to stand upright, it appeared that he could read eyes all too capably. I love horses, racing ones. And though I knew he was up to no good, my eyes gave me away. Note to self, wear dark glasses in the future.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Miss...
Darksyde. And you are...
Jimmy Rattentasha, Esquire. Miss Darksyde and Darksyde. By Thor and Thunder, it is an honor to be talking with a celebrity such as yourself.
By Thor and Thunder? An odd expression anywhere, but particularly coming from this poor specimen of humanity. My patience began to wear thin. Kindly state your business, Mr. Ratbag. Rattentasha. He sidled even closer up to me now, and I found he reeked of gin. I was both disgusted and a bit jealous. I began scouting for the refreshment tent.
I've got a lead. A lead far, far more lucrative than any old Muffin Brand.
At this time, I should have walked on. Either gone back to the office, gone home, or at least gone to the bookies and got my business settled. How did he know I was about to wager on Muffin Brand? Or was this a bluff? Although I'm ashamed to admit it now, I was hooked and eager. He smiled before continuing.
I see you're a discerning lady type.
Lady type?
You should place whatever you've got on a new entry. Fresh off the cart, as they say. More dough than doe-eyed, they also say. Cerise Contusion is today's winner. I can guarantee it. At 20-1. And these losers milling around here...
He glanced knowingly, left and right.
Ain't got a clue.
And why are you so gracious to share this tip with me?
Think of it by way of appreciation. You're a regular Chatterskull hero. And everyone loves a hero.
I mustered my best, most dismissive grin, which I should mention I'm quite proud of. But then the oily man just gave me a wink and strolled off to merge with the crowd. My little red handbag felt heavy, 20 times heavier than it should have been, considering the cash inside. I thought, why not? I am a hero. I should be recognized more often. And this man, well, he was very, very polite in his icky way. As if overcome by some mind spell, I walked right up to the bookies and laid my cash on the barrelhead, putting it all on Cerise Contusion. Then I indulged in a pink gin and waited for the race to start. Something, however, suddenly didn't feel right. Though I managed to remain stock still, my head was swimming. The starting gun sounded with a mere pop, and what should have been a thrilling clatter of hooves sounded more like rattling beans. This went on for some time. I catalogued my symptoms for later consideration. The only words I remember clearly were,
Coming around, Final Bandits, Muffin Brand ahead by Fawn, followed by Rotundos, Avier Organ, Seismic Pencil, Slam Band, Rubber Band, Bear Goat, Quentin Chuckleberry, and, oh no, Cerise Contusion has slammed into the rail and somersaulted into the stands.
Then I remember a flailing shadow forming over me, and then nothing.
Boss, what do you think?
Quiet, James. I think she's waking up. Miss Darksyde, it is a pleasure to meet you.
My head felt like it was stuffed with woolen socks, those itchy ones my grandmother used to knit for me. I could immediately tell I was seated and bound to my chair, fully clothed, thank goodness. There's nothing worse than facing off against goons while in a state of undress. As my vision returned, I could make out the forms of the two voices I'd overheard. There was Mr. Rattentasha, of course. Ugh. And seated opposite me, looking somewhat reptilian, I swear, was a better-dressed gentleman. Sir, you will untie these bindings immediately.
Of course, Miss Darksyde. James, you should be ashamed for keeping her thus restrained.
The slick-suited simian immediately obeyed the seated man. I love alliteration. With nary a slip of his hand, he untied my wrists and ankles. I rose straight away. I do thank you kindly. Now, how is it you presume to take such liberty with a Chatterskull citizen in good standing?
Citizen in good standing. I like it. James, make a note of that. Miss Darksyde, if you please. It concerns your wager.
I have made my bet, and it would appear graciously forfeit the cash. I fail to see what business it is of yours, unless you wish to apologize on behalf of your flunky.
Hey,
Silence, James. he does leave a touch to be desired. I'm guessing, Miss Darksyde, that you are unaware of my identity.
I must admit I have not had the pleasure. The reptilian fellow rose from his chair and performed an odd little bow.
My name, dear lady, is Humphrey Himmedal, and I regret to inform you that Cerise Contusion has landed you in some serious trouble.